I'm Carmen, and welcome back. I'm here at Operation Food Search in the Bear Healthy Community Kitchen for today's episode of Cooking with Carmen. As part of our mission to heal hunger, Operation Food Search teaches families how to cook delicious food on a budget. Thank you for joining for episode 28. Today we're going to be making one of my family's favorite weeknight meals. Life can be tough on those family dinner time. So in addition to work and school schedules, there are sports practices, games, various lessons, homework, visiting with friends. And with all that rushing around, it's easy to stop in the fast food lane. So today's topic is all about bringing balance back to those busy evenings. Your whole family will feel better when they're eating delicious, nutritious meals together. I'm going to show you how to make one of my family's favorite weeknight meals. It comes together in a flash, which is very important when you have a hungry toddler at home like I do. So first, we're going to get started cooking before I share some tips on bringing balance to those busy evenings. So today we're going to make egg roll in a bowl. This is a one skillet meal and it tastes like the filling of an egg roll. Delicious. So first, I want to gather all my ingredients to make sure I am not missing anything. So we have 1 pound of lean ground beef. You can also use ground chicken or ground turkey. We have a sweet yellow onion and I've diced it. We have all of our fun flavor additions, so sesame oil, rice wine vinegar, hoisin sauce, fresh garlic, fresh ginger, and soy sauce, and that's going to make our delicious sauce. And then we have our coleslaw mix, which is just shredded cabbage, and some matchstick carrots, and then some green onions that we're going to garnish. So I have all my ingredients, so let's get started. So first, I'm going to get my skillet heating up over medium heat. I'm going to add in my 1 pound of ground beef. Just right on in there. And this is also, I like to add the onions at the same time as the ground beef so they can start getting nicely cooked down and tenderized. And then I just use my spatula and break it up so there's no large chunks and it also cooks a little evenly. And again, like I said, you can use ground turkey or ground chicken. Anything works, or even ground pork. This recipe is very versatile. And when I do at home, I actually add in a bunch of diced mushrooms to this as well. At the same time as I add in the onion, I find that it bulks it up, adds a lot more veggies. And then the mushrooms that cook down, you can barely see them in the dish, and my whole family loves it. So while this is cooking, let's whisk together our sauce. So again, we have our sesame oil, which I think is an ingredient you definitely need for this dish. It has a very good flavor that a lot of times you'll find in a lot of Asian cooking. So 1 whole tablespoon of sesame oil. I need to take the little lid off of this. So you can just find this in the grocery store in the Asian aisle or the like with all the other like soy sauce ingredients. So I just found it at the local grocery store. All right, 1 tablespoon, and it goes. And then we also have a tablespoon of our rice wine vinegar. If you don't have rice wine vinegar, you can use other vinegars. But again, I like using this vinegar. It's a very light flavor. Next is our tablespoon of hoisin sauce. Again, this is optional, but I think it adds a lot of great depth of flavor. And I tend to keep this on hand anytime I'm making a stir fry, or I'll even marinate some meats with some hoisin sauce. But if you go to some local restaurants, you might see like chicken lettuce wraps, and a lot of those are prepared with hoisin sauce. And then our last ingredient for the sauce is our soy sauce. And I use low sodium soy sauce here because we have sodium in the hoisin sauce, and then I don't really taste a big difference between low sodium and regular. So we're just going to combine that. Stir our meat here. Sizzling away. And I don't add my sauce until the meat is almost done cooking because I will drain off any of the extra fat. So I do have a pretty lean ground beef, so there's not going to be much extra fat. But if you have like a fattier ground beef, you do want to scoop off or drain off some of that fat before you add in your other ingredients. All right. So this is coming together. It's almost cooked. So my secret to draining fat is you never put it down the drain because it'll solidify and then clog your drains as bad news bears. So you do want to take some paper towels, and I simply wad it up, tilt my skillet, be careful, it can be hot, and let the fat kind of drain off to the side here, and I scoop it up with my paper towels. You can also drain it into a cup and then scoop out the fat that way after it solidifies, or drain it into like an old soda can and just simply throw it away. But I find this is a simple way, mess-free. You don't have to deal with any of that extra fat. All right. And then into the skillet, I'm going to add in our fresh garlic. About 2 cloves, I diced them up. And in our fresh ginger as well. About 2 tablespoons of fresh ginger. Then I'm going to stir this up until I can start to really smell it, just like about a minute. And if you don't have fresh garlic or fresh ginger, you can use dried. Adds great flavor. So instead of 2 tablespoons of the fresh, you would just use a teaspoon of the dried because it is a lot more condensed because the liquid's been removed, so you don't need to use as much. All right, I can really smell it. All right, now we're going to add in the sauce that we combined into our pan here. We're simply going to stir it up. Smells good. That hoisin sauce is almost like a little sweet, and you can kind of smell the sweetness coming through. So I definitely recommend adding that, or even like some teriyaki sauce if you have that in your fridge. Adding just a little bit of that would be a great addition as well. So next we're going to add in our coleslaw mix, which is again just shredded cabbage, but buying it pre-shredded is a great time saver. You just buy them in those little bags. It says coleslaw mix. It's the whole entire 16-ounce bag. But you can also take a whole cabbage and shred it yourself, like on a box grater, or use a knife and cut it up. But we're adding the whole thing. And I like using the combination of the green and the purple cabbage, add some fun colors. And then also I have the bag of matchstick carrots. So again, I bought them pre-cut up, time saver for me. But to save some money, you can use a whole carrot and shred it like on a box grater, or again, small chop it up. About a half a cup goes in. And then you'll see it looks like a lot of stir fry here, but the cabbage will cook down. So I'm just going to stir this up. I really wish you guys could smell this. All right, I'm going to turn down the heat a little, down to medium low. And you just let this saute. You stir it every once in a while until those veggies are crisp tender. The meat's cooked through, and then it's ready to enjoy. So while we're waiting for that to keep cooking, I'm going to share some tips for some busy weeknight meals. So I have 5 tips for you, and these are things that I do personally. So first is planning in advance. Look at the week ahead, and in advance can save you a lot of headaches during the week. On those busier than usual nights, having a plan makes dinner meal one less thing that you have to worry about. So personally, I like to sit down on the weekend and plan my entire meals out for the entire week, do all of my shopping one day, so then I'm not scrambling throughout the week to prepare a healthy meal for my family. I even write a menu on a little whiteboard on my refrigerator, so my whole family knows what's for dinner. Mainly my husband. He's the one that always asks. Also, have some recipes ready in your back pocket. 3 to 5 recipes that you know your family really enjoys. It can really make that meal planning on the weekend for the whole week a lot easier. Number 2, keep your kitchen stocked. So keep frozen and canned produce with no sugar or salt added on hand. They are quick and nutritious additions to make your meal whole and complete. There's also whole grains like brown rice, pasta, and oats. Those are great quick additions for those well-rounded meals. Sometimes I'll cook a whole batch of brown rice and then freeze it into family-sized portions. Brown rice tends to take a while to cook, but it freezes nicely. 3, use a slow cooker. A little prep in the morning can leave you with a delicious meal to come home to at the end of the day. You can even, if you have like one of those removable inserts, you can even do all of your meal prep the night before, keep it in the fridge, and then just toss it in the machine, turn it on, and you're out the door in the morning, because mornings can be a little hectic as well. Number 4, prepare large batches. So like I mentioned with the brown rice, but you can also make larger batches of entree meals. So some of my go-to freezer-friendly meals are broth-based soups, meatballs in marinara sauce, and chili. But the internet is so full of freezer-friendly meal ideas. And then the last one is thinking semi-homemade. So not everything has to be made from scratch. So if you're thinking of like a rotisserie chicken, I often will buy a whole rotisserie chicken, shred it, and use it in various recipes. Like you can use it in tacos, a shredded barbecue chicken sandwich, in a wrap. You can add it to pasta, or just serve it as is with some really yummy sides. The options are endless, and you don't have to make everything from scratch to have a healthy, well-rounded meal for your family. All right, it's looking like our stir fry is about done. The cabbage really shrunk down. It's so colorful with the purple in there, the orange and the green, and it smells so good. All right, so I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna scoop it into my plate here. You can serve this over rice, but I find that the cabbage really makes this a filling meal, especially if you add mushrooms, like I often do at home. I find I don't need rice. And then I have a little garnish of green onion. So I like that fresh pop of color and brightness that the fresh green onion adds. Sometimes I'll add some sesame seeds on top as well. But this is a delicious meal. You saw how quickly it came together. Very minimal prep if you buy those pre-chopped ingredients. But even without the pre-chopped ingredients, it can still save you a lot of time with this meal that comes together so fast. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you got inspired to make a fast and healthy meal for dinner this week. If you have any questions or made today's recipe, please leave us a comment below. Remember to like our page if you haven't already, and visit our website to learn more about our work and how we nourish and educate our neighbors in need to heal the hurt of hunger. Check out our Facebook page or YouTube page for all of our past episodes. I'll see you back here in 2 weeks for our next live episode. Stay healthy.